This is your Houston chiropractor, Dr. Gregory Johnson. We have Keith back in here with us this morning, and this is Keith's 5th adjustment out of 6 that he's gotten this week here at Advanced Chiropractic Relief. Now, Keith came in prepared, which is what I recommend all you do too. He brought his diagnostic testing and images because he's had bilateral toe knee replacement surgery that was effective for getting rid of his really severe acute pain that he was having in his knees, and chronic pain too, because he had degenerative joint disease, which is osteoarthritis. And they've done how many surgeries on your knees now total?
Well, we did both ACLs replaced over the years, and
then more recently you went back and had the implants.
January we did the implants, so now we're less than 5 months post-op.
Right. And you came here with your knees hurting, still aching on Monday.
They were still healing, but I mean, we looked at this, and this is interesting that in the course of recovery at home,
right,
I found your video as we discussed, and not that I was looking for it, but before I had these surgeries, this is how crooked my legs were. I was bow-legged, and you could see where I'm bone on bone. This is after the implants were put in. I'm now straight. So it's just like, immediately when I started to walk, I knew I was straight.
Mm-hmm.
But there were some other x-rays that were taken above the waist, and I saw that I was crooked.
Yeah,
well, my low, I'm straight low, but I'm crooked high,
right,
and therefore here I am.
There you go. And tell people how you've done here this week here at Advanced Chiropractic Relief and what your experience has been.
These knees, this was a kind of not something we were looking at because I had lower back pain, which was the main reason I came. But these knees were continuing to heal, and they did ache, and I figured out they will for a while. Now, one of the things that I appreciate you listening to me about was I was so concerned about these knees, and
the adjustment.
Worried, but once we did it, it actually was no worry, and then actually that I think we broke some of that scar tissue up, and it just like, wow, it's like somebody oiled them. And again, I'm less than 5 months post-op on double knees, so
But those are solid implants, so I'm not afraid that when I do high velocity, low amplitude pull on your legs, starting from your ankles up to your knees, into your hips and your lumbar spine, and you feel that all the way up in your lumbar spine.
You can feel it.
That's decompression from the lower end on the y-axis.
That concern I have was, I can just say to anybody, shouldn't be a concern, because if you can't feel it, I said, hey, this isn't so bad. So
just because you may have had surgery in any joint throughout your lifetime and have hardware in there does not mean you can't get adjusted, so long as the implants are solid and the fusions are solid. You can adjust those people. Now, we had a guy from, where are those people from? Oklahoma or Illinois?
Illinois and Missouri.
Missouri. Yeah, he came in with an experimental cervical fusion device at C5, C6. So I have not adjusted his cervical spine with the Palmer diversified rotary brake or the ring dinger, because I don't know about that experimental implant that was put in his cervical spine. But we do adjust him on this BioPhysics table above and below the fusion levels, and he's gotten great relief here this week too. So just because you've already had surgery does not mean that chiropractic adjustments cannot help you, because they can help alleviate a lot of the scar tissue formation that starts forming in and around the joints and soft tissues, as well as biomechanically correct those alignments in the joints from his ankles, knees, hips, all the way up into his spine on a cumulative basis. That's why we see people twice a day for 3 days in a row of people like Keith that are coming in from Illinois, or Virginia, excuse me. We got so many different people here from all over the place, hard to keep up with y'all. But anyway, I just wanted to have Keith share his story with you, because I know a lot of you out there have already had back surgeries, knee surgeries, shoulder surgeries, hip replacements, things like that. We see those kinds of patients every day, and getting adjusted in those joints, so long as the joint has healed and the fusions are solid, it does not hurt to get those joints adjusted by a licensed chiropractor. If you are not a licensed chiropractor, do not be adjusting people from just watching our YouTube videos. It's come to our attention recently that there's been several people arrested and now being prosecuted for practicing chiropractic without a license. I have been a Texas licensed chiropractor since 1981. I've got coming close July 39 years of practice experience, and I know what I'm doing, so I'm not afraid to do these things, but you should be really afraid if you're letting someone else adjust you that doesn't know what they're doing or is not a licensed chiropractor. So please don't be trying these adjustments at home on your family or friends, or even opening a practice and trying to run a chiropractic practice without a license. That is just stupid. You cannot learn how to adjust the anatomy of the spine, neuroscience, neurophysiology, neuropathophysiology, articulations of the spine and the extremities. You just can't know what you're doing by watching these videos, so please don't even try. I know I've said this on a couple of videos this week, but it's a big deal. There's 4 people in Texas right now that are in jail as a result of practicing chiropractic without a license. So we don't do these videos to educate you on how to adjust. I'm doing these to educate the planet on the many benefits of chiropractic care. And that's why you came down here,
Absolutely,
isn't it?
absolutely. I wasn't looking for your website. It just popped up.
Yeah, our videos aren't entertainment.
And it said you watch one and you go another, and I'm sitting at home after this knee surgery, and I go, and you watch one, and then you start picking up these things. I said, that's me. I have that, I have that, and I have that.
Yeah.
And here I am.
Here you are. Yep. And it's been a really fun week with you too. We've had a good time.
Yes, it's but he's the real deal. He's great. He's great. Absolutely.
Thank you very much for doing that. Appreciate it. Okay, let's show them how we did all that.
Let me put this in here.
Now Keith's standing up much straighter already too this week.
This thing.
The only thing he's really still got going on is that forward head posture, and I have a feeling that's coming from him working on the computer and sleeping with the pillow and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's flex you forward and backwards for me. And then neutral. Yep.
But I know I am standing up straighter. It's
No doubt. I mean, you can visibly see it.
I can tell.
Yeah, you can feel it, but you can also visibly see the changes in your biomechanics in the mirror, which I evaluate the biomechanics on the x-axis, the y-axis, and the z-axis before and after every single patient adjustment that I deliver. Okay, he has not had any new accidents or injuries since I saw him last evening, so we're going to come over and do this one first today. Butt right here, head up this way. And specifically, do not be trying to wrap a towel around your spouse's or friends or co-workers' neck and trying to do the ring dinger on them, because it is dangerous. If you don't know what you're doing, you can cause somebody serious injury, paralyzation. Now see, he doesn't have much of a patellar reflex because they had to push that patellar tendon aside whenever they did the knee surgery, so he didn't have much of a reflex even to begin with. Okay, nice deep breath through your nose. There we go, good.
Can I have another?
Yeah, I know. Ring ding's a good, great way to start your morning off. Okay, drop in my hand where you left big toe. There you go. Tilt right. That's it. All right. Okay, Keith, let's come over here and lay you on your tummy next, please, sir. There we go. Now this is after 5 adjustments, his legs are exactly even. When I first examined Keith, he couldn't even get his legs up this far without it hurting. See, the legs are staying even, and that doesn't tighten up in your low back near as bad, does it, Keith?
No.
You still get some stiffness there in those knees, but that's just because of the fibrotic adhesion, the scar tissue surrounding your entire knees on both sides, front and back and side to side. And for those of you who still says I do the same adjustment on everybody, no matter what their diagnosis, I do adjust the entire body from the ankles all the way up to the occiput and the extremities. So they may look similar on the YouTube videos, but it's based specifically on that patient's needs. That was it. Good. I didn't tighten up as much, did it? Okay. So yeah, I practice the Johnson technique on every patient, so I did this way. So I am doing the same technique on everybody, it's just not the same pressure or high velocity, low amplitude press that I use on every patient. This differs per patient. And by the way, what you see on YouTube is what you'll get when you actually come here. Because these videos are unedited, spontaneous in nature, with the patient's consent. Let's put both arms out this way. Yes, sir. Get me straightened up like a military man, huh?
Well, it feels much better.
Yep. Relax your hands right there. So if you notice from this adjustment here, I'm actually contacting his ankles here with my legs, and now I'm getting a fulcrum right here on his tibia and fibula below the femur, and just doing a straight y-axis decompression from the lower end where he feels that from his ankle all the way up to his low back.
This is what I was worried
There we go.
about.
Perfect.
This
Yeah.
is what I was definitely worried about, actually.
Yeah. But even though he was concerned about
Didn't bother
me
me at
adjusting his knees, I think after the very first one you told me you were feeling better.
all. Oh, I did.
There we go.
This,
Yeah,
again.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's still got a lot better range of
Oh, it
motion than
does.
it had.
It does. I think we're going to have to nail it into place.
Yeah, well that's not me. You're gonna have to find somebody else to drill the nails in there. There. But I wouldn't get surgery until you absolutely could not function. That's
No,
always.
no, but-
Let me get your elbows and wrists.
Oh, yeah.
He's feeling so good, he wants to go out and run around the building and miss the rain. There we go. Good. Yep.
Well, like I said, I went out for a walk yesterday, and it's just the lower back. It's just everything's working well
Good.
compared to what it was two days ago.
Well, that's our whole purpose here, is to change people's lives for the better through chiropractic adjustments. Okay, let's have you flex your head forward and backwards in neutral again. Now take a look at that, my friend.
Yeah.
You're right down the middle everywhere. You got equal spacing
Yeah.
on both sides here. Your shoulders are squared
Yep,
off.
yep.
The only thing we're going to continue to have you
Do.
accentuate is to bring that head straight back and then look back at the wall here. I'm adjusting his atlas on the x-axis, contacting the transverse process of the atlas bilaterally. When I use this high velocity, low amplitude adjusting instrument, it quickly moves the atlas from side to side, and then it resettles down in the joints between the occiput C1 and then C1 and C2, which is C1 atlas and axis. Yep, take a look. See, you're standing up straighter already.
Oh, yeah.
Try that again. Tell me if this feels any smoother to you.
Yeah, all that grading and crappiness is gone.
Yep, cool deal. Well, thank you for sharing your experience with everyone on YouTube.
Thanks. Real deal.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate that. This is your Houston chiropractor coming to you from Advanced Chiropractic Relief in Houston, Texas, and we are the real deal. So find out for yourself by going to www.advancedhoustonchiropractor.com and fill out a new patient request form, and Renee will get back to you within 48 hours. We'll see y'all soon.